sabi ko, bloom na. Bumuka na. Jess Constantino, welcome back to Sports on Air.
Hello, good evening. Maraming salamat sa pag-invite uli sa akin. And of course, kung excited kayo, mas super excited ako for tonight because our guest for tonight are two special people closest to my heart, closest to what I do. So, umpisa na natin, Ernest. Meron pa pala isa. Isa pa pala.
Ikaw naman, kinakalimutan mo i-introduce si Ivan eh.
Joke lang, Ivan.
Si Ivan.
Agad yan.
Okay lang.
Okay lang pala eh. Huwag mo na-introduce.
Sige na, pwede nang umalis sa room. Okay, but anyway, kasama natin from Dugout Philippines and Philippine News Agency, Ivan Salvajeño.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Women's Day sa inyong lahat.
Yon. Diba? Napakaganda ng background natin. Hindi mo alam kung ano eh. Ano bang kisame yan? Okay. Anyway, we have here our Girls Got Game ladies and isa-isay natin. Jess, would you do the honor?
Okay, wow, it's my honor to introduce these two special and phenomenal women. So with us tonight are the managing directors of Girls Got Game Philippines, of course, Gely Tiu and Atty. Mariana Lopa. Women, ladies, welcome to Sports on Air. And happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day. Thanks for having us.
Hi guys, thanks for having us. Sobrang excited kami makapagkwentuhan sa inyo and happy International Women's Day to everyone tsaka sa lahat ng nanonood.
Okay, syempre, gusto ko kamustahin muna kayo, no? Kamustahin muna natin how are you doing so far? Ito pandemic, nag-iba-iba buhay natin, no? Si Ivan di na naliligo ng na araw. Kayo ba paano na ba?
Siguro ako 3 beses naliligo dahil sa init. Tsaka sa workout, so trying to stay fit while at home, no? Yun yung medyo nawala, hindi pwedeng lumabas, stuck at home. So with the vision that we have in Girls Got Game, importante na we take care of ourselves para maalagaan din namin yung mga girls, no? Mabigay din. We can't, sabi nga nila, no, pour from an empty cup. So yun lang, getting by through the pandemic and hoping for, of course, better days ahead with the vaccine man yan and everything else. Oo nga, magulong topic pero...
At least meron na.
Attorney, kayo naman.
Yeah, same. No? Parang trying to learn how to navigate in this tinatawag nga nilang new normal. Pag sinabi pa one more time, mapuputol yung mga internet natin. But yun, trying to navigate not only my own life but also parang yung course ng Girls Got Game throughout this pandemic and yung ano yung mga pwede natin gawin. Sabi nga nila at the start of the pandemic, one of the indicators that we're back to normal will be when sports starts coming back into the picture and it'll give everybody a sense of normalcy. No? So nakikita na natin yun, unti-unti yung pro leagues bumabalik na.
Yes.
And sooner than later, yung Girls Got Game makakabalik na din.
At meron nga balita lately, no? Ewan ko lang kung may nako-confirm na, no? PB is already deliberating on 50% attendance for the games, which is a big step kung magawa nga yan, and if it is implemented well, it's gonna be a good benchmark for everyone, no? Anyway, Brian, Jess, alam kong babae ka pero pugay muna tayo sa The Godfather. Godfather?
Yes.
Ikaw bang unang Ikaw bang unang magbabanat sa mga tanong?
Ba't ako?
Because you're the Godfather.
Pambihirang Godfather. Okay, ito, sige. I mean, it's very basic. I mean, can you give us a brief background for the benefit of the viewers who don't know about what's the history behind Girls Got Game?
Paano nagsimula ba to? Nasa bahay lang kayo?
Yeah.
Nagkakape lang ba kayo? Diba? Is it a shower moment?
So, Girls Got Game, it's I wish we could take credit for it, but it's actually started by two co-founders. So it's Nika Arcilia and Crisanti. They started it in 2015 actually, di ko alam kung sa shower nila ginawa, inisip, no? Pero I think it's from, reading up from their own experiences and work, no? Na-realize na nakita nila the cycle of poverty in the Philippines, how it's just going to continue, no, with girls getting pregnant and not thinking about being able to have a better future than that. Tapos sabi nila, swerte naman namin kaming mga nakapag-experience ng sports, so sana kaya rin nila ma-experience yun, no. And from that idea, they talked to each other and then said, let's meet at a coffee shop with a group of like-minded individuals, and Girls Got Game was born from there. So, ayun, they started out that way.
Was this before before pa the pandemic or during the pandemic? Was it before the pandemic?
Before pa. So, we
Before
started
pa.
actually
Before pa.
2015. So,
Oh,
we're
okay.
already in our 6th year this year.
Okay.
Bata pa si Jess noon.
Yes.
No, I joined, 2016 ako, Smoky Mountain camp.
Pero before anything else, may gustong bumati dito sa atin, no? The first PBA Rookie of the Year, Mr. Gil Cortez is watching with us. Hello, Ernest, Brian, and to everyone. Diba? Talagang we are
Hello.
Sir Hill.
royalty
Hello.
right now. Sir Gil,
Hello, Sir
tawagan
Gil.
tayo minsan, kwentuhan minsan. At,
May utang pa sa akin, Sir Hill. Kailangan ko pa siya i-guest.
Oo nga, no? Kailangan ulit natin na i-guest ulit si Sir Hill, no? But, so it's just around 6 years ago to, no? And Jess, you might want to throw in the next topic for these ladies.
Well, I think, nakita naman natin ngayon medyo, kasi ako, I know the story, but I think it's always good to hear, how we started or how Girls Got Game started and all the struggles before it is the Girls Got Game that it is now. So I think, Mariana, can you, walk us through memory lane, how it started, what inspired you, and what keeps you going? Because I know you're a lawyer, and it's not easy, I should say. So, and I know all of us in Girls Got Game, actually, we have our own jobs. And this is our pure voluntary volunteership, if there's such a word. And, what keeps you going? Why until now we are still in Girls Got Game? And later on, we'll talk about where we're going and the plans that we have. So, Mariana?
Yeah, what were the struggles in starting this up?
Yeah, so when the founders approached me at the time to be the program director for basketball pa lang, actually ang kapal ng mukha ko, I was studying for the bar exam at that time, 2015 yon. Then sinabi nila, can you join a camp? And sa lahat ng abogado or may kakilalang abogado, pag bar exam, talaga you disappear from the face of the world. And at that time, pumayag ako na 2 days straight, hindi ako mag-aaral, magsa-sports camp lang ako. And to this day, parang when I look back at that, parang sobrang kabaliwan nung ginawa ko. But then, for me kasi, and for all the volunteers sa Girls Got Game, it's personal eh. The investment in what we do is personal. Bakit ko nasabi yun? Lahat kami, former athletes, lahat kami na-experience sa buhay namin yung benefits of being part of a sports team, of learning values through sports. Learning, ganito kasi yan guys, I'm not sure if you're familiar, no? Pero parang as women, growing up, you're taught not to be aggressive, not to want to win. You just exist together with everyone else. But when you're an athlete, you learn that you have to strive for what's good. You have to strive to win. You have to compete for your place, not only on the court, but even when you end up in the workplace. Parang those are skills na we really want to embody and teach yung girls namin sa camp. So I guess that's the long answer to Jess's question of what keeps you going, no? Pero siguro, rewind din nung how did we start? Like, what did it look like? Man, grabe, nung start, as in, kawawa talaga kami. Yung, wala kaming, kasi we do sports camps of 100 girls over the course of 2 days, and we teach 4 sports. That's basketball, volleyball, football, and rugby. And nung start, as in, wala kaming bola, yung goal ng football namin, nagnakaw lang yata ng PVC pipe, tapos yung straw, tinali-tali lang, wala kaming net. As in, sobrang kawawa talaga kami nun. And then eventually, parang we met so many people who are like-minded and helped us make the program grow. And now I can honestly say when you see a Girls Got Game camp, it really has a professional look and feel in what we do. And the growth is exponential and I can't explain it. Pero sobra siyang exciting pa with parang looking forward to what more we can do.
Jelly, how about
You,
you?
Jelly?
Siguro if I can add to that, in terms of challenges, kasi 6 years ago, no, women empowerment was not really yung parang, yung timbre, hindi siya word
Hindi
na,
siya buzzword.
oh, exactly. So parang nobody knew what it was, nobody cared what it was. And I guess that was our advantage as an organization starting out. We kind of were ahead of that wave. And instead of riding the wave, we were kind of leading it and the one that brought the wave out. Siguro that's the best way to explain it. But with that, of course, the challenge was, ang bigat nung karga namin kasi nga, we had to make sure people would buy in to what we were fighting for. And sabi nga ni Mariana, not a lot back then would have understood what it meant to be a girl athlete. So, yung tipong isipin mong not necessarily me and Mariana, but our core team would go up in front to present to random multinational companies, and they were all male executives and just pitching the idea of Girls Got Game to them. It seems so funny to think about it, pero buti na lang, no? They brought it forward, and really because of their passion, I guess, that came forward. Parang eto nga, kahit anong push comes to shove, we wanted the camps to happen. We wanted to give the girls that same feeling that we were privileged to have. And thankfully may mga sumabay sa amin at sumakay, 'di ba? So dahil dyan, I think that's how we got through all of those challenges. Hindi yatang kakayanin na kami-kami lang tapos sige bahala na ganito. Ayun, I think it was with the help talaga of a lot of people and supporters out there.
It's the burning passion that ignites the fire.
You know,
May question
Ernest,
ako.
go,
sige,
good, father.
Go. Hindi.
Ako ba muna? Sige.
Ikaw na nga.
Nagkakahiyaan pa kayo. But
Ikaw
anyway, bago kayo mag-isip kung sino muna mauuna,
Ang magtatanong.
I encourage yung mga nasa viewership natin. No, kung may tanong kayo, mag-comment lang kayo. We'll read it. We will, kung may mga pa-shoutout kayo, pa-shoutout nyo sa kanila. No, sabi dito ni Frankie Velante, hi Free and Mariana.
Frankie!
Go GGG.
Hey,
Diba? Tapos sabi ni Sir Hill Cortez, hello Ivan. Max.
Sinagot ko na for Ivan.
Binate, no?
Sinagot ko na.
Yun, no? Ayan, nagsilitawan na yung mga nagpapabate, no? Go Girls Got Game from Pinky V. Mesias at saka si
Our team namin yan.
Go GGG.
Yun.
Anyway, Ivan, ang tanong namin sa'yo, kailan ka unang nagka-period?
Wala ko damay dyan.
Tinatanong ka lang, nagagalit ka. Sabihin mo lang hindi
Kailan ka nagdalaga?
Okay.
Anyway, ayan,
Nakikinig
saan na
ka.
kayong sinusunod magtatanong?
Okay.
Yes,
Sige,
naman,
ako
yes.
yung follow-up question ko lang doon is, there can be a lot of organizations na, you support Jelly and Mariana. I mean, I know you're athletes, why sports? Well, alam ko, tatanong ko sana bakit sports, but, we all know you're former athletes. But I think I want to ask you guys, what are the things that sports gave you that you are willing to share to our girls?
For me, it gave me things that I can use now in my corporate life. And I think top of that is discipline na talaga and respect. Malaking bagay 'yon, lalo na pag naglalaro I'm Ateneo women's football team ako. They're known to be yung mga magaganda sa field pero bano. Yun. Hindi ako takot sabihin yun kasi in my all 5 years of UAAP playing, once lang kaming nag-podium, 3rd place pa yon. 5th year ko pa yon. Captain na ako nun. Proud naman ako sa team ko. Happy ako sa Ateneo at everything. Di lang namin naabot yun. No? Pero, ayan, saying that out loud, I feel like regardless of the wins or the loss, yun nga, it's that respect that I got in playing the sport, in respect for my opponents and my teammates, whether we won or we lost. I think that is a huge lesson in life na ngayon nga, nasa pandemya tayo, lahat tayo talo, pero yun, resilient pa rin ako. Feel ko dahil nga ang dami kong talo dati, okay lang din. Joking aside, I think the point still stands nga na that's I think one of the biggest learnings I got as an athlete, yung kayod talaga, student athlete sa lagay na yan. That's mine.
Okay, but
Siguro, Mariana?
before Mariana answers, no, ayun nga, may mga, you're familiar, you said football. Are you part of, kasali ka ba sa isa sa mga teams ng, Sevens Football League?
Right now, I'm part of Hiraya FC.
Kaya pala, kasi ako yung, parang PR ng...
Yeah, Tash.
Oh, yes. Kasama ko sila, Tash.
Yun, kaya pala,
Go, Hiraya.
Go, Hiraya. Ang tatapang ng mga babae yan. Di ba kayo yung tumalo sa kaya?
Yeah, pero nasa Singapore ako nun eh. Ayoko naman take yung credit nun.
Pero that was a intense game. Astig yun. Sabi ko, kakainin ng kaya to. Puro national team to. Biglang nanalo Hiraya. Di ba? Astig eh. No?
Magaling. Maraming GGG na nasa Hiraya. Magagaling.
Pero alam mo, to be honest, when I watched them play football, yung sabi mga women's football ng Sevens Football League, it's exciting, ha? Talagang nakita mo, these ladies talagang they give it all out, no? Talagang intense. I enjoyed watching the finals. Although wala ka doon, pero we might be bumping to each other nung sa Sevens Football League. I mean, they're every
Ernest. Because girls got game,
Yeah. Talagang girls got game talaga. Ayan,
Nice
si Diana Valdeweza Gregorio, go GGG. Tapos sabi ni Gal Ferreras, good evening guys. May gals din po tayo.
And
ano ba?
And Ivan.
And
Ivan. Joke lang, love you, Ivan. Okay, let's go back to Mariana for my
muna tayo.
first question.
Ayun, alam mo na, Ivan, ba't ka namin pinasok?
Umiyak na siya. Siguro, Jess, to answer your question, the one thing siguro that sports really gave me is confidence. And hindi siya confidence na hangin. Confidence siya na galing sa preparation. Kasi sa lahat naman ng sports, mapalalaki, mapababayan. Pagdating ng game, kung prepared ka, hindi ka nakakabahan. And I think that applies with everything sa buhay. Kahit ako ngayon sa profession ko, parang para sa akin yung everyday grind na aral ng kaso, ganyan, yan yung practice. Tapos pagdating sa court, parang yun yung, court din siya. Yun yung parang game, di ba? And parang that mindset, if you can instill that in all the young girls, parang kaya nila yun i-apply sa buhay nila forever and ever, amen. Kahit hindi sila maging varsity or national athlete. Parang yun, sa akin yun yung importante.
Thank you. See, magaling ako magtanong at magaling silang sumagot. That's why, perfect place.
Bumabati sa kanila, sabi ni Veronica Manalastas Limcauco, go GGG. Sa mga nanonood sa atin, pahirapan nyo naman, magtanong din kayo sa kanila, no? Para kasi kung mahaba-haba airtime nila ngayon, kundi kung si Ivan ang bibigyan namin ng airtime, pakibura muna ng airtime ni Ivan.
No, baka may question naman si Ivan. Ivan, go. The floor is yours now.
Actually, meron.
Oy.
Actually, meron. Kasi...
Uy! Meron!
Grabe agad! Follow up muna dun sa tanong ngayon ni Ernest regarding sa football career ni Gely. Have you been teaming before with Cam and diba, si Marty? Or pagpasok nila, sabi ka na?
Pagpasok nila, actually naging captain ako ni Cam. And then naging coach ako nila for 2 years. So I coached 2 to 3 years. I coached the women's football team.
In-age mo naman si Gely eh. At pag in-age mo si Gely, lalo mo akong i-age. Kaya tama na yan.
Baka si pinatanong eh.
Nilagay lang ako kasi yan. Kasi yung pag-transition kasi yung transition ng Ateneo nun, after na Jelly, yun na yung powerhouse team. Yung sila Cam, sina Marty, yun na yun.
Yeah,
Anyway,
nag-forfeit kami, Ivan. Forfeit ng bronze.
Yun. Okay, so anyway, going back to the GGG, have you reached out to the NSA? Kasi yeah, you've been training rugby, so PRFU, Philippine Rugby Football Union. So have you been in touch with them to help you in your cause?
Naintindihan niyo yung tanong? Kasi
Yeah.
It's English today.
ano ko, kahit mali ang internet ni Ivan, choppy pa rin magsalita yan.
Translator.
We actually partnered
Translator.
with them, Ivan, in our first ever IWD, the big event that they organized with GGG. 2018 ba yun? Medyo, we had a big event for
2018.
IWG there with them. And Ada Milby until now is one of our GGG ambassadors. So talagang we're very close to the rugby girls, the Volcanoes especially. So rugby actually, fun fact, is the latest sport we had. We initially had athletics, I think is what we called them. So we started off with basketball, volleyball, and football, and then athleticism. Tapos we moved to having rugby when we went to our first Mindanao camp in Davao.
So how about the other NSAs niya? SBP, dati pa yung LBPI, then PFF, about their cost? Have you reached out to them then or hindi pa?
In recent years, no, parang hindi pa kami nag-reach out sa NSAs. Kasi lalo na yung model kasi ng camp namin, we really look for communities where the girls have little or no exposure to sports. Kasi para sa amin, kung pupunta ka sa community na marunong na yung mga bata, wala kami masyadong value added doon. So for us, we want to be a disruptor and go into the communities na wala pa talaga silang alam. So hindi kami parang pang national team training. Our training is an elite, it's age appropriate. So yung mga anak, yung mga tinatrain namin is 10 to 12 years old pa lang. And then if we identify specific talents, then there's opportunities to link them with schools and NSAs. But so far, parang yung model namin kasi is magpakilala lang ng sports, hindi pa magpagaling ng players. Kasi parang ibang length yung kailangan nun eh. Kumbaga marathon yun, sa amin sprint.
Mm-hmm. And I think to add to that, no, and you'll be surprised, Ivan. Sorry, ba't ako nagsumasagot? Kasi feeling ko as athletes manager, kailangan na. Actually, yung surprising na factor doon is maraming girls in like less economic areas that minsan first time nilang makita ng bola, first time nilang makahawak ng volleyball, first time nilang malaman na laro pala ang rugby at hindi yung isa. And you'll be surprised sa mga discoveries namin in GGG. Dahil yun nga, parang sabi ni Mariana, we go to the underserved, hindi talaga dun sa mga exposed na, which I think makes us different, unique from other organizations. Okay, back to hosting mode na ako. Sir.
Na-excite na si Ivan tumali. Na-excite na si Ivan tumali.
Oh, grabe!
That's not to say we're not open to talking to NSAs. Kumbaga, kung meron silang grassroots activities that we can collaborate with them on, parang sobrang game din kami doon. Pero as of now, parang hindi yun yung priority. Yung priority namin really was scale and reaching more girls for the past few years.
Anyway, Brian, bago ako pumunta sa iyong tanong, may mga ano pa dito, may mga Jess, may mga fans ka dito. Tolentino.
Ang active ng core team natin.
Hello, Jess, my friend, Coach GGG. Diane Valdeweza Gregorio, rugby player represent, and pinapabati na rin ni Brian Yalo nga Miss Meg Shawzon of PTV4 is also watching with us. But anyway, Ivan, yung malamang na-excite ka na kasi si Ivan, pag medyo nahihinaan ng loob yan, kumakanta yan ng This Girl is on Fire mag-isa eh. Para ma-motivate siya. Brian!
Di ganun, huy!
Actually, nagulat ako kasi record-breaking ngayon si Ivan kasi mas mahaba pa tanong niya ngayon kaysa sa bati niya eh. So far. Anyway, I'm just gonna ask, okay, so you girls said that you got this idea parang out of parang shower or whatever. I'm just curious kasi we have a lot of women now that they started na yung kumbaga on the rise. I mean, there are a number of them. Were any of them did any of them inspire you? Kumbaga kumbaga did you ever reach out to them to help out?
All the time, no. I think, Sir Brian, it's this is a shared cause. It's not na gusto naming kaming GGG lang yung mga pwedeng mag-empower ng women na org. We actually want to plant that seed and spread it across as far and as wide, no. If ever there are athletes out there that we look up to, we do try to get them either as part of our coaching volunteer pool. If not, they'd be one of our ambassadors. So like sila Meggy Ochoa, not necessarily the core sports we teach. It would go beyond that, no. And we wanna expose kasi our GGG girls, no, to different athletes, women athletes, Filipina athletes at that, na they can really see themselves na pwedeng maging ako yun. Kasi not necessarily naman na magaling sila sa basketball or sa volleyball or sa rugby. Pwede namang magaling sila mag-badminton, mag-table tennis, jiu-jitsu, whatever it may be, no? Ballet pa yan or dancing, di ba? I mean, it's a very, very huge, the world is their oyster, basically. So I think who we get that's inspiring and relates and has the values of GGG, that's what's important to us. Tapos, the reach out is easy kasi our cause is most likely their cause also.
Yeah, to add to what Jelly said, no, yung sinabi niya the reach out is easy. Siguro yung isang pinaka malinaw na example niyan, yung video namin ngayon na nilabas namin for International Women's Day. You can check it out on our social media, Girls Got Game PH.
Yon,
Pero-
Tennessee, kaya mo ba dukutin yun para maipalabas natin dito sa ating palabas, no? Para mapalabas
may
ng
maiyak.
labo, no? Sa ating palabasin natin dito labo. Pero anyway, no? Genesee, pakikuha na lang or pakilink sa amin dito para mahanap kagad ng editor namin yung video na yon. But anyway, go ahead, Miss Attorney.
Yeah, so ang namin, parang we wanted a Q&A between one of our girls sa Girls Got Game and parang mga pwede niya maging idol. Tapos sobrang dali lang, isang text lang, we got DLSU former football captain si Kyra Di Maandal, and then we got Eliza Valdez and Z Hervasio. Sa basketball, we got Camille Clarin. Then sa rugby, we got national team player Rara Sales. Parang kasi lahat ng female athletes, kumbaga parang walang damutan sa amin eh. Lahat kami pinagdaanan namin yung maging female athlete, yung struggles, pare-pareho kami dyan. So pare-pareho din kaming gusto namin palaguin yung world of women's sports in the Philippines. Kaya hindi mahirap kausap yung mga female athletes. And sobrang grateful ako doon. And sobrang proud din ako doon.
And they're growing. Marami pa eh. Ang dami pa eh, di ba? It's beyond
Definitely.
that sport, di ba?
Tsaka bumabata, ang daming bata na magaling.
Oo, correct. True.
Pag sinabi mo bumabata, no, parang nakakatanda yung Jess,
Binubuking yung sarili niya.
Sino? Ako ba pinaparinggan mo? Sa kaling kita dyan.
Makaming bata. Dati kami yung mga pinakabata.
So speaking of bata, now let's talk about how this pandemic affected Girls Got Game and what are the things that you guys are doing moving forward, and what are the things that we can expect. And later on, I think the question is how else we can help to grow this program. And baka may mga nanonood sa atin who are also interested and want to be involved and volunteer. So Mariana and Gely.
Siguro, ako dun sa how did it affect us as Jelly, ikaw dun sa looking forward. So dun sa how did it affect us, parang concrete example, exactly 1 year and a few days ago, meron kaming camp in Quezon City, Toro Elementary School, na that's 100 girls and 80 volunteers in one basketball court. So sobrang bawal sa COVID, di ba? Pero at that time, hindi pa tayo naka-ECQ. Ang tagal namin inisip na itutuloy pa ba natin to? Kasi pag may nagkasakit dito na isa, lahat yan yari. And tinuloy namin kasi parang I guess we weren't aware of how serious this pandemic really was gonna hit us. Tapos nung nag-lockdown na lahat, parang it became apparent so quickly na we had to change the model. Hindi namin pwede gawin yung 200 people in 40 feet of a basketball court lang. So, kaagad, parang nag-isip kami ng other ways to implement the programs and to reach the girls that we usually reach out to. And Gely will continue my story.
So we started off with e-learnings. So again, you can check that out in all of our social media accounts in YouTube and Facebook especially. So the ambassadors helped us again, produce very quick bite-sized videos of how to do some drills for each sport. So we tried to mimic parang camp na just naka-video and people can watch whenever. And then eventually we said parang kaya to scale, no? So with Jess's team, no, the athletes management, we're planning and hoping to pilot something to partner community this year naman. So level up kami to see if we can do something during their summer break that's sort of mimicking the online learning that we see and we see about with the education system now. So it's still in the works. We're doing the modules now as we speak, the worksheets that we wanna show and produce for the girls. It's a pilot pa lang, so it's very new. Yeah, and yun, so we are hoping na even with that pilot, maybe in the future, the pilot can be something more, no? We can grow it a bigger, or it can stand as the pseudo camps kasi hindi pa tayo pwedeng mag face to face, no, or mag meet ulit in the 100 girls. And apart from that, we've had partnerships, very good partners right now that have been helping us one maybe have a refurbished court somewhere. And hopefully we're working on that so that we have a GGG home court, and then working on a few webinars and sessions, virtual classes for both our athletes and the volunteers, and we are also looking at doing some bite-sized sessions similar to this, no, talking about breaking barriers, the struggles of women in sports, and all of those topics, no? So a lot of things, I guess, where we can play around in this virtual setup. Pero gusto namin bumalik na naman na may camps in the future. Ayaw namin sabihin wala na yon kasi I think that's still a very foundational and a cornerstone of who GGG is, and it's still the best way for someone to learn and to love the game. So I don't know if Mariana baka may ma-add ka or si Jess.
I think you pretty much covered it, no? Pero siguro to touch on lang, like, bakit namin gusto pag-usapan yung mga issue na to. Aside from bumabata yung mga magagaling na players, batang-bata pa yung understanding natin dito sa Pilipinas kung gaano kalalim yung women's sports, tsaka kung gaano kadami yung pwede niyang maturo. Not just to the athletes, pero to everyone na nanonood, na sumusuporta sa lahat ng female athletes. Ang dami-daming issues, ang dami-daming topics na pwedeng parang you can dive deep into these issues, and it will spring into so many other things na kaya kami sa GGG sobrang excited kami to have these conversations and to expand everyone's knowledge when it comes to women's sports and women empowerment in general.
Mariana, to follow up that question, marami ng athlete na bumabatang athlete na magagaling, and now with the launch of WNBL, how do you think it will help, our cause for women empowerment, na ngayon meron na tayong mga professional league na pwedeng tawagin, and of course the previous PBA 3x3. So paano nakakatulong yung mga ganitong commercial leagues for our grassroots program?
siguro the value of having a league like that is really you have something to look forward to, di ba? Kumbaga, ako, nung nagbabasketball ako nung bata ako, I knew that when I get to the UAAP, that's it. That's the pinnacle, and after that, I'm gonna have to figure out something else to do. Pero dun din naka-connect yung kailangan quality yung liga. Hindi siya pwedeng liga-liga lang. Kasi kailangan aspirational siya eh. And it has to be able to sustain the players. It has to be economically feasible for them to dream to be professional athletes. Otherwise, sayang, di ba? Parang, it's important to have an aspiration, but it's important that the aspiration meets the actual dream, di ba? Yun yung parang dalawang dynamic na naglalaro dyan. But for me, kahit anong mangyari, it's good to start it now and to just keep improving it as time goes along.
Thank you. Godfather, Ernest, kayo naman.
Go,
Ivan.
Si Ivan, Ivan, mamaya ka na. Hindi, mamaya ka na.
Ipalap ako.
Hindi, mamaya ka muna. Ako muna, huwag ka magulo.
Gulang.
Mascot ka lang dito, yung nakikilam ka. Hindi, I'm just, yung advocacy nyo yan, yung parang, na-applicable tuloy. Parang, just, but dapat ako yung nakausap mo dyan eh. Kasi we can do that here in our area. Because I'm the one handling the sports here in Green Hills. Kaya lang, ayaw ako sa Jess. Ayaw ako sa ni Jess eh. Kaya,
may first community na tayo after lockdown. Yan na, Sir Brian.
pero yung schedule mo ulit sa law? Doon ko gagawin yung meeting natin.
Binunyag sa buong
Okay lang.
schedule niya, no?
Okay lang. Ano yan, nasa hierarchy of priority yung GGG. So, sinisingit yan.
We should talk about that. That's
Game.
Yeah.
May mga tanong sa social media natin ngayon, may mga pumapasok na. And sabi ni Veronica Manalasta, Slim Kauko, aside from imparting knowledge, skills, and values to these young girls, in turn, are there things that you've learned from them, the communities that you work with, and what are they? No? Malinaw naman, no? Kasi kung si Ivan nagtanong niya, may kailangan ng subtitle.
Grabe.
I think marami kaming nakuha from the girls, even more than what they got from us. No, the biggest learning I would say is parang I said a while ago, we can't do this alone. That's very clear. But the other piece to it is these girls really are our future. Iba talaga eh when you experience a camp, and I look forward to the day Brian sees that also, no, with yung yung barangay niya. But the girls talaga, it's a different makita mo sa mata nila na gusto nila, pero may may hindrance na dahil sa labas nahihiya silang ipakita. Pero makita mo sa loob nilang gusto nilang gawin 'yun eh. Yung parang may blockage na once matanggal namin 'yun sa kanila, yung hiya, yung takot, yung lahat, parang kami yung natututo sa mga sinasabi nilang, alam mo, yung buhay namin ganito lang. Hindi namin yan, hindi namin talaga yan, na-experience firsthand. Nakikita lang namin yun sa kanila na nakatira sila sa walang address na sinasabi lang nila sa amin. Doon yung bahay ko sa tabi ng poste. Ganun lang yung sasabihin nila. Wala pa silang shoes, wala silang any equipment. And for them to be given this opportunity to play a sport, it's a huge deal to them na parang nanalo sila sa loto. And I think what I learned there is appreciating the little things, and especially what I have, no, the privilege that I had to be an athlete, to be a coach for different athletes. And talagang sana yun, mabigay ko lang sa kanila, that little bit of success, of happiness that I got. I think yun yung punto natin, yun yung na-learn ko talaga dun.
If there's one thing about this pandemic, kasi I'll be honest with you guys, when I was handling nung wala pang pandemic, it was very hard to encourage everybody to come out and be in sports. Dito sa amin it's more on boys, pero yung girls nga, kaya I was ever able to put up any volleyball. Pero baka sakali ngayong pandemic, pag virtual baka pwede.
Attorney, you want to answer the question as well?
Ako siguro if there's one key takeaway that I get from camps, it's really perspective. Parang yung isang kwento na hindi ko matanggal sa isip ko, nag-camp kami sa Santa Maria, Bulacan. Tapos 2 days yung camp. Yung first day, so yung bata naglaro. Nung second day, bumalik siya, mangiyak-ngiyak, may hawak na sampagita. Tapos sabi ko, ba't ka naiyak? Sabi niya, Coach, hindi na ako makakalaro ng day 2 kasi magtitinda pa ako ng sampagita. Hindi kaya ng pamilya namin kung 2 days akong hindi magbebenta ng sampagita. So in her young life of 10 years old, never siya nag-absent sa trabaho niya for 2 days straight. Samantalang tayo, sumakit lang yung kuko mo, SL ka na, di ba? Pero yung when you're faced with that kind of need and bata yan, parang sobrang kakaiba yung perspective. And parang yung simpleng bagay that children have the right to play, parang nawala yun sa kanila dahil sa need nila. And that really gives you a different perspective on your own obligations in life and then yung work, ganyan. Parang yung dating buisit na buisit ka na trabaho, you become grateful kasi it gives you a life that, di ba? Parang a life that's so much more comfortable than other people can imagine.
Okay, teka, bago natin patanungin si Ivan ulit, no? From Danielle Nicole Ocampo, hi girls, love what you do. You mentioned all the lifelong lessons sports that has taught you both. If there is one idea that you want young girls to remember after attending your camps, what would that be, and what mantra should she take to heart? Pang Miss Universe, no?
Siguro for me, it's really what I want them to take away from the weekend is that parang there are no hindrances in parang hindi sila dapat magpapigil sa stereotypes. Kasi when we go to camp, you really see lahat ng stereotype na pumipigil sa kanila. Yung parents nila, ayaw sila ipag-basketball. Gusto volleyball lang yung lalaroin. Yung mga kapitbahay nila, ayaw silang palaruin kasi feeling nila masasaktan. Parang, siguro yun yung one key takeaway na dapat meron sila after our camps. Na kung ano yung gusto nilang gawin, kaya nilang gawin. They just have to put the time and the effort. Katulad ng ginawa nila in the 2 days with us.
Jelly.
I think it's hope. That's always what I'd cling to for them. Kasi kumbaga, there's something better for them. They can be better than where they're at right now. Doesn't even have to be playing a sport. What we just want to teach them is there's even life after playing, life after sports, and that's if they were able to give them that inspiration, no, and that hope that they have a future.
Diba? But anyway, Ivan, bago lahat, no, i-share screen ko na yung ating
Video!
Yan, no? So this is the
Out
video.
to our MNC team. Thanks so much.
Yay! Congratulations!
Teka. Sorry, may nag-message. Teka, ba't ayaw, Genesee? May ano yata sa ano ko. Sorry sa technical difficulty, no? Siguro sa pag-record ko.
Siguro dapat i-kick out mo muna si Ivan para matumuloy.
Oo nga eh. Parang ano eh. Parang
Ako na mga sumpa. Ako yung may bakang.
may malas eh.
Bak.
Anyway, Ivan, tuloy mo na yung tanong mo habang sineset up ko to.
Okay. Kasi just follow up lang sa tanong ni Jessica earlier. Kasi I remember Gab, Chairman Bahamika saying, I think on the December 30th podcast, that this year would be, they say it's a year of women's sport in the Philippines. So how would that motivate you in continuing your advocacy with this inspirational word from no less than the chief of the overseeing committee for professional sports?
Siguro, Ivan, para sa akin, hindi lang year of women's sports in the Philippines. It's really a year of women's sports in the world, no? If you look everywhere, parang the WNBA just signed a really progressive CBA last year. The viewership of women's soccer and women's tennis is through the roof, higher than ever. So I think people are slowly beginning to realize that while women's sports is not as athletic, or hindi siya kasing pogi ng men's sports, it's a totally different brand of sports. And as soon as people realize that, then the support will shortly follow. And siguro where we are ngayon, parang lalong nakaka-inspire to introduce this whole world of sports to young girls. Kasi they're growing up into a world that it's acceptable for them to play sports and to be good at it, 'di ba? Nung time namin parang kung magaling ka hanggang doon ka na, scholarship, okay, congrats. Pero ngayon in the world today, if you're really good at what you do, you can go everywhere. Like you can compete internationally. Like 'di ba sa Asian Games lagi yung girls natin hakot sa medals. Parang these are things that our young athletes should be aspiring for, and us as an organization in Girls Got Game should also be pushing them towards.
Siguro to add to that, Ivan, it just means that the pandemic doesn't stop us from doing what we do. Kung kaya nung mga iba, the representation that everyone, all women athletes around the world are showing, it means na COVID-19 is not a hindrance to us elevating women in general in sports and otherwise. So I think that's a huge plus for us who are helping the grassroots, the future athletes. Kumbaga.
Dagdag lang kasi yun nga, kakanos na pa nung Sunday, ang athlete of the year ng PSA ay babae. So dagdag motivation pa ba sa inyo? Yun nga, ang babae ng PSA.
Yeah, definitely, 'di ba? Parang I think everyone is having a renewed appreciation for women's sports. And I think one thing I always say, women's sports has the advantage of having old girls like us na hindi na kami atleta pero naiintindihan namin yung value ng pagiging atleta, and nagagamit namin yung expertise namin in other fields, like ako kunwari sa law, si Gely sa HR profession, and we're able to apply that in making the women's sports world better. So no offense, but like for instance, for men's basketball, maybe 80% of them are still playing basketball, pero kami nakalat na kami kung saan-saan. And yung natututunan namin in the real world, na ibabalik namin sa women's sports yan. And it'll only grow the game and make it richer. Kaya sobrang exciting na mga pwede mangyari pa sa women's sports.
Anyway, we have our video already na pwede na nating ipakita. And here it is.
You can achieve your dream by believing in yourself and believing that anything is possible. Growing up in the world of sports as a girl empowered me to break boundaries and always be confident in all of my abilities.
In sports, we learn and develop so many values, at ilan nga dito ay ang discipline, confidence, and champion mentality na important in achieving our goals, mapa-games man or in life.
At naniniwala ako na kaya ninyo ma-achieve ang mga pangarap ninyo sa pamamagitan ng sports, dahil ito ang magsisilbing tulay ninyo para makatapos kayo ng pag-aaral sa pamamagitan ng sports scholarship.
Kaya naman naniniwala talaga ako na ang sports ay isa sa mga nakatulong at patuloy na tumutulong sa akin para matupad ko pa ang aking mga pangarap sa buhay.
Una sa lahat, alam natin success doesn't come overnight. That's why we have to have hard work and patience. Pangalawa, we have to surround ourselves with the right people who will be with us and help us throughout our journey towards our goal. And lastly, we have to have faith. Tiwala lang sa sarili at tiwala lang that things will work out for the best.
So all the girls out there who want to achieve their dreams through sports, you guys have to believe in yourself, work hard, and never back down from the haters.
Dahil sa sports, I grew to be more responsible, to be more appreciative, and to be a better achiever in all aspects of life.
I promise you, the world is big enough for you to dream of anything and small enough for us to be helping each other out.
Kaya mo yan!
Kaya mo yan!
Kaya mo yan! Kaya mo yan!
Kaya mo!
We can do it!
The Girls Got Game!
Yay!
Oh,
Ang galing na.
Ivan,
Salamat,
kaya mo
Tito
yan.
Frankie.
Ivan, kaya mo yan, Ivan.
Lumalakas na yung loob ni Ivan, no?
Si Ivan
siya
pala
ng
yung
confidence.
na-inspire.
O, diba? Ivan, pumapalakpak ka ba dahil sa confidence build ka na? Anong masasabi mo?
Kaya mo yan.
But anyway, Brian, may tanong ka ba?
Sige si Ivan lang muna. Baka sakasakali meron siya nakuha sa
Ivan.
video.
O pagkakataon mo na, may second
Okay, wait, one more.
question mo na.
O sabi sa'yo meron eh.
One more
Babaan
question,
mo,
okay, actually. Kasi you mentioned earlier na meron kayong na-discoveries. So, who are these girls and are they not playing in the pros? Like, nasa WNBL na ba? Nasa PBL or the PFL Women's League before?
Remember yung kids namin, 10 years old to 12 years old. So, 6 years old yung community. Siguro yung eldest girl namin yan, nasa 18 pa lang. So,
18.
at most, no, ang ginagawa namin recently is nare-refer namin sila to schools where they can possibly get scholarships. Pero yung talagang masasabing success story na pro na, wala pa kami doon. Bata pa yung girls namin. But, syempre, ideally, that's the dream, di ba? Makaproduce ng national team or pro athlete. Yun yung long-term dream talaga.
Jelly, meron ka bang na-discover?
Meron akong naaalala, second camp namin siya naging GGG athlete. Tapos na-meet siya ng isa naming Lasal football player na nag-try out pala siya for the Lasal team, I think. But that's as far as I can recall na yun nga, I think sa lahat ng mga nanonood or mapapanood itong live later on, I think that's something we'd wanna ask all of you to help us out with. It's a call to action to everyone talaga to support GGG more so that we can have these success stories kasi in the future. That's our dream and hopefully it's your dream too.
So, Jelly, speaking of support and call to action, paano ba, if there are people watching right now, how can they help? How can they volunteer? And who are they gonna call? So, promote!
Ghostbuster.
So you can check us out on all of our social media, Girls Got Game PH. Email us also if you have any proposals. Sir Brian, kayo kakausapin na namin. Si Jess na bahala sa inyo.
Hindi ako kakausapin yan.
No, but,
Sir, may 8 p.m. bukas.
Oo nga pala.
For everybody else, definitely a little goes a long way. Any help, any support you can do, whether it be donations for us, Wi-Fi modems right now with the plans that we told you about. I think it's one of the basic needs na ng kids because we can't reach out to all of them without the means virtually to do so during this pandemic. So it's if you have any questions, just contact us at girlsgotgame@ph@gmail.com.
There you go. No? Attorney?
Yeah, I think Jelly more or less said it all, no? But actually, this 2021 for us is a year of collaboration. We're excited to be working with so many good people. And if you think there's something we can do together, feel free to reach out and we'll find a way to make it work. No? Sobrang exciting ng mga in the works and we're excited to launch everything.
May suggestion ako, no? Since you ladies are already promoting Girls Got Game, no? Maybe you should also train the next wave of female sports journalists. Kasi konti lang talaga.
I agree.
Konti lang talaga.
Mariana!
I like that.
Diba? Kasi magaganda yung advocacies nyo, but of course, no, it's the sports journalism is a male-dominated field. Maybe you can breed more female sports journalists to get into the industry as well.
On that note, sobrang, I agree with that. And parang two parts din yan. Yung sports journalist, kailangan din nila dumami. At present, para sa akin, sobrang konti lang yung yung very respectable to me. Shout out, Siege Tantenko, Camille Naredo, diyan kayo lahat.
Si Ivan hindi kasama dyan.
Inunahan mo ako, dapat ihirit ako eh.
Pero at the same time, yung kailangan din matrain is yung mga atleta.
Yeah.
Kasi a lot of the female athletes, magaling sila maglaro pero hindi sila marunong sumagot. So you have a really good story. Kawawa din yung journalist pagdating sa interview, walang mahugot na sagot. So I think yun din kailangan matrain.
I can help with that, no? Kung paano sumagot and everything. Pero may mahabol na tanong dito. Okay lang ba? Ihabol natin. No? From Maui Chang, I'm an athlete too, but I wanted to play basketball. What are your advice for people who wanted to try it? I might be anxious because I'm just 5 foot only.
5'3"?
Go, Mariana.
Ako, 5'4". Umabot naman ako UAAP. Kayang-kaya mo yan. No, but siguro one word of advice sa lahat ng athletes, lalo na sa mga bata, is to just play and have fun. Masyadong maraming bata ngayon na siniseryoso na masyadong maaga yung sports. Lalo na yung mga magulang, laging, anak, kailangan mo mag-practice kasi kailangan mo magka-scholarship. Pero hindi tatagal yung bata sa sports. Hindi ka tatagal, Maui, sa sports kung hindi ka nag-enjoy sa ginagawa mo. So, laro ka lang, subok lang na subok. And hanggat na-enjoy mo yan, hindi mo na mamalayan, gumagaling ka din sa ginagawa mo. So, keep it up and keep trying.
Oh, diba? Swak na swak. Paano si Ivan 6-footer pero ano?
Ano 6-footer? Pataas o palapad? Justify.
Sige, makakatwiran pa yan. Anyway, maraming salamat sa pagpakikisama sa atin ngayon. I enjoy the time, bitin na bitin tayo, but I'm sure this is not the last. And anytime you need Sports on Air to air your activities and everything, just buzz me. Jess knows my messenger and everything. No, anytime pwede kayo dito. Basta kasama si Jess, no, hindi busy si Jess.
Wag na yun isama next time.
Sana dapat.
Lang. Busy na ako, mag-aaral na ako.
Tapos sana si Ivan sumali na sa inyo soon.
Ivan, ano yung natutunan mo from Gely and Mariana today?
Yeah.
Tumawa.
Hihintayin namin yung follow, ma. But thank you, Mariana and Gely.
Anyway,
Next time
we will give everyone a chance to say their final statements. Let's start with Gely.
So, sobrang salamat sa inyo lahat, sa Sports on Air, sa lahat ng nanonood. Actually, gusto ko ring i-mention for Sir Ernest, Sir Brian, Ivan, salamat sa inyo kasi kailangan din namin ng mga he for she. No? We've been talking about girls all this while. IWD, Women's Month, GGG, we wouldn't be possible without the male support or the guys being part of this this pushing forward that we're doing, this empowerment we're doing. So salamat sa lahat ng mga nagsusuporta sa amin, hindi lang sa mga babae, pati sa mga lalaki at mga ibang kaharian din. Sana mas marami pang ways na makipag-interact kami lahat with you guys. So just reach out to GGG and looking forward to more of this with all of you.
And while Sports on Air, although ako nga yung dominated na host dito, this is gonna be a he or she program as well for you ladies. Si Ivan naman, he is a she. No, but anyway, attorney, kayo naman.
Look at the face.
I guess I want to end by saying Happy International Women's Day to everyone. Thank you ulit sa platform na binigay niyo sa Girls Got Game. Happy International Women's Day to the Girls Got Game core team. the best team to work with. Happy International Women's Day sa lahat ng partners ng GGG. Big thank you to Nike and to Modest for helping us make 2021 really exciting. And looking forward to more and more activities, not only with GG, but with Sports on Air and with everybody that wants to work with us.
Okay, Jess, how about you?
Well, I think thank you for having me here. And I think it's always exciting to talk about these things, talk about our cousin Girls Got Game, and I hope this is not the last. And it will just continue and push forward. Para eventually we will reach the level that we want when it comes to women empowerment. And thank you, Sir Brian and Sir Ernest and Ivan. Napasaya mo kami today. So
Sabi sa'yo, it was a good idea to bring Ivan.
But eto nga, Ivan, sige, bigyan ka namin. Anyway, birthday pala ni Ivan ngayon.
Hindi pa.
hi.
Next month pa. Seryoso, next month pa.
Oh, gano'n na rin. Oh, di ba? Ano yung birthday ni Ivan Perpetual?
Okay na. Sige.
Sige, Ivan, bumati ka na. Nauubusan na ng oras natin.
Thank you to everyone who watches tonight. Shout out to Atty sumunod ko sa PM ko. Ayan. And shout out sa mga nanonood. Yan. Happy Women's Day.
Okay, Godfather, your turn.
Would I dare ask ano yung PDM mo?
PMS yan, PMS.
Personal.
Anyway, sige na, okay na, tama.
PMS pala, PMS.
Tama na.
Hindi naman spelling nun, di ba? PMS.
Wala akong sinasabi ba? Thank you, Mariana, and thank you, Jerry, and thank you, Jess. It was, as usual, as I expected, very informative. I like the advocacy. And I'm very sure I'll be seeing you again in some form of medium. I'm not talking about in a show. I'm sure. Tapos I'd like to also take this opportunity to invite everyone tomorrow. Pagkasama kami ni Jess Jess, it's going to be a very inspirational talk with a coach tomorrow, and Ernest will be the one handling naman yung iba kasi hindi natin kaya lahat, madami. So yun, thank you everybody, and we hope you enjoy the show. Even if Ivan is there.
Bumaba yung ratings natin bigla.
May hawak ko yung ratings, taas tayo ngayon.
Teka, pakiulit, kailangan ng subtitle. Hindi ko naintindihan.
Tayo ngayon, masaka yung ratings. Hawak mo na.
Sige, naniniwala na kami. But anyway, ako po si Ernest Hernandez, nagbibigay sa inyo ng isang magandang gabi uli. Salamat sa pakikinig sa ating programa ngayon. Marami-rami pa po ang aming mga ihahain na sports topics para sa inyo. So please, if you are in Facebook right now, paki-like na rin yung page natin, paki-follow para malaman nyo kung sino yung mga susunod nating mga panauhin. And if you are also on YouTube, nandun din po tayo, whichever you want to get, kung saan nyo gusto manood, nasa YouTube din po kami. Paki-subscribe na rin, ring the notification bell. At with that, ang iiwan kong mensahe sa inyo is just to stay safe and God bless.